If you point a radar gun at a moving car, the car does not change speed because you looked at it. But in the quantum world, measuring an electron's position leaves its velocity completely undefined. This is not a technological limit, but a fundamental law of geometry. In classical physics, properties are numbers we simply read. In quantum mechanics, they are geometric operations, forcing a fluid quantum state to make a choice. How do we translate physical measurements into mathematical tools? To understand this, we must look at how we manipulate vectors when twisting and stretching them. Think of a quantum state as a vector pointing in a multi-dimensional space called Hilbert space. Every physical property we measure is represented by an operator. Geometrically, an operator is a transformation machine that rotates, stretches, or projects our state vector. If you apply a transformation matrix to a vector pointing at an arbitrary angle, it might rotate 90 degrees or double in length. In quantum mechanics, this transformation represents our measurement device interacting with a particle. But how do we get a reliable number from a shifting vector? The answer lies in geometric transformations preserving physical reality. Because real-world measurements must yield real numbers, quantum physics restricts us to Hermitian operators. Geometrically, a Hermitian operator has two critical properties. First, its scaling factors, which we call eigenvalues, are always real numbers. Second, its preferred directions, or eigenvectors, form a set of independent, mutually perpendicular axes. This perpendicularity builds a coordinate grid where each axis represents a definite physical outcome. This axis and outcome pair is what physicists call an observable. So how does a physical object interact with this grid? We can visualize this process using a common object you likely use on a sunny day. Consider polarized sunglasses. Light waves can vibrate in any direction, representing a superposed quantum state. A polarizing filter is a physical measurement operator, allowing light along a single axis to pass. When diagonal light hits a vertical filter, it does not split. Instead, the filter forces the wave to project onto its vertical axis. The light is either absorbed completely or emerges vibrating vertically. The filter forces a continuous range of angles into a binary outcome. But what determines which outcome a specific quantum state will choose? To calculate this, we must look at the relationship between the state vector and the measurement axes. Before measurement, our quantum vector points in an arbitrary direction, representing a mixture of possibilities. Applying a measurement operator forces this vector to collapse onto one of the operator's perpendicular eigenvectors, putting the particle in a state of definite value. The specific eigenvector determines the physical value we observe, known as the eigenvalue. The probability of collapsing onto an eigenvector depends on how close our original state vector pointed to that axis. Writing this geometric projection mathematically takes us straight to the fundamental equation that defines this entire interaction. The core of quantum measurement is the eigenvalue equation, AI1 equals AI1. Here, AI is our operator, representing a physical measurement like spin, and I1 is the state vector.
This equation states that if we apply the operator to a special state, the direction of the vector does not change. It is simply scaled by a constant factor, A, which is the physical eigenvalue. Geometrically, this means the state is already aligned with one of the natural axes of our measurement device. But what if the vector is not aligned, and how do we calculate the projection? To find this out, we must use a geometric tool. When a state vector, my psi, is not aligned with our measurement axis, we use a projection operator, p hat equals my n psi n. This operator acts like a mathematical flashlight, casting a shadow of our state vector directly onto the measurement axis, my n. The length of this shadow represents the probability amplitude. Squaring this length gives the exact probability of finding the particle in that state. This is Born's rule. A vector pointing almost parallel to an axis casts a massive shadow, giving it a near certain chance of collapsing there. So what happens when we try to measure two different physical properties at once? Geometry reveals a strict, unavoidable conflict. In classical physics, you can measure a car's position and speed simultaneously. In quantum mechanics, order matters. Geometrically, if you rotate a book 90 degrees vertically, then 90 degrees horizontally, it ends up in a different orientation than if you reverse the steps. This is non-commutativity. We see this exact geometric conflict when measuring a particle's quantum spin across different axes. Because these distinct spin operators do not share the same eigenvectors, measuring one rotates the state vector, entirely misaligning it with the axes of the other. But does this geometric restriction apply only to discrete states like spin, or continuous properties too? To answer this, we must stretch our geometric intuition to infinite dimensional spaces. For continuous properties like position, Hilbert space expands to infinite dimensions, turning discrete axes into a continuous spectrum. The position operator, x hat, multiplies the state by the coordinate, while the momentum operator involves a derivative. Geometrically, the Fourier transform acts as a 90-degree rotation in this space, translating localized position space into wide, spread-out momentum waves. This translation shows why a precise position measurement forces the momentum state to spread out infinitely. We can never escape the geometry of these operators. But what is this state vector made of before we force it to choose an axis? This brings us to the deepest mystery, the fluid wave containing all possibilities. To understand why measurements behave like geometric projections, we must understand the state vector itself before the operator acts. This vector is described by a mathematical wave encoding the probabilities of every possible outcome. If measurement projects this wave onto an axis, we must understand how this wave moves and spreads in the dark. The complete answer to how this wave represents physical reality lies in the fundamental concept of quantum probability. To see how this wave behaves before we look at it, click on the next video about what is a wave function, a geometric explanation of quantum probability.